So, I wanted to discuss the Battlefield 2042 leaked gameplay that's been floating around the internet. Now, I won't be showing it in this video to avoid DMCAs, but I will be breaking down my thoughts of said gameplay in this video. If you guys enjoy it, leave a like on it and subscribe for more videos. So, there's a ton of footage out there for the Battlefield tech test, and I wanted to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, things are likely to change when it comes to the little things, but I think the overall game is likely to be close to what we're seeing here in all of these gameplays. So first up, I wanted to talk about the gunplay. Wow. It looks like a big improvement from the past couple of games. I watched some gameplay of a player using the K30 SMG with a suppressor, heavy ammo, and factory mounts. Now, snappy firing animations rivaling the likes of Modern Warfare, it looks really responsive and fluid, with a pretty fast time to kill, I might add as well. I saw a couple of firefights where most of the shots were torso or head, and it took a while to drop, but other fights it seemed to put people down in around 5 to 6 shots, so it might depend on armor values as well. I don't quite know yet. As we saw from the recent Irish gameplay that Ripple Effect and EA had posted on their socials, there are armor values on the HUD, but I can't really tell how much it helps or affects firefights until I can get my hands on the game. Now, the recoil looks a little wild as well, but when you actually watch where the bullets are going, it does seem kind of accurate and okay. Again, I need to get my hands on it to fully grasp what we're seeing, but I am hopeful. I'll just leave it at that. The only thing I didn't really like about the gunplay were the hit markers. They just seem to be a little bit too wide away from the center crosshair, and it's kind of hard to see. Now, granted, maybe if I'm playing it on my own monitor and not watching some 720p resolution video, it might be a little different, but it just seems like they're very large and wide, and they really should be tight. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 4 lately, and they just need to be kind of tighter to that center. But again, overall, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. A lot of the firefights look pretty legit. Now, the character movement, watching other players kind of move around the area, it seemed pretty quick. Nothing crazy like Black Ops Cold War, if you guys remember playing that for the day that you did. Bunny hopping and ripping all over the map was like synonymous with Black Ops for me. But this game does have pretty quick movement. Not over the top, nothing crazy, definitely manageable. And with the crisp animations just being super fluid from the double like tactical sprint and the sliding, I actually like what I'm seeing. I was worried about the slide, but in all the gameplay I've seen, it actually doesn't look that bad. In terms of vehicle movement and gameplay, now I'm not a big vehicle guy in Battlefield. I always jump into jets, helis, and just crash because I'm terrible. But the gameplay actually looked really fun. Snappy controls, I'm watching this dude jump into a heli, and he's just dive bombing, turning between rockets, and it just looks really responsive. And it reminds me of the people that I used to watch do this kind of shit back in like Battlefield 3 and 4. Now, one thing I wasn't a fan of was the lighting on the map. It looked a little like bright, I guess. Not a lot of dark corners or areas to kind of chill in, which I guess from a gameplay standpoint is a good thing, but I felt that it really hindered the visuals. Now, speaking of visuals, this game looks gorgeous. All of the footage that I've seen is from YouTube links, so with the compression from YouTube as well as everyone seemingly recording at a lower resolution, I can only imagine what this game is going to look like on a nice rig. Now, speaking of nice rigs, join the PC Master Race before Battlefield 2042 comes out with an Apex Gaming PC. You guys can use code BigFry for 5% off your order if you ordered down below using my link, and you can tell them how great of a plug that was. The game itself looks really fun to play. I was worried about the increase in player size because sometimes I feel like Battlefield is too chaotic. But I think the changes to how objectives are captured in the all-out war mode was a great move. It keeps battles crazy, but doesn't look like something too over the top. This test was being played on 128 player lobbies, and the firefights were definitely manageable. You have guys coming in left and right, but it just felt like I was watching old school Battlefield, and I'm all here for it. I'm still not a fan of the HUD, specifically when you change attachments. The idea is really cool, but with the big green cross that pops up, it just looks gross. Make it smaller or take a page from World War III's very small book of good things that they do and change the menu altogether. Or at the very least, allow us to keybind attachment slots so I could just like hit a key, the gun switches to the animation, the guy puts a different sight on, and then it's good to go. So it doesn't have to go through that just ugly prompt. I would much rather have that than have to look at that HUD every time I want to switch attachments. It's really that bad. Now, obviously, the technical test is meant more to stress servers, see how performance is on this map. I read a lot of people complaining about the lack of objects and clutter around the map and that it looks too clean and empty. I believe this was intentional to test performance with less things around the map to pop in, basically a stripped down version of what the map would be. When it comes to large scale environments like this, I really think that a test like this is key to collecting valuable data about streaming objects, view distance and render scale, as well as server performance with this many props on a map. Obviously, I'm hoping to see much more dense worlds once it launches, or hell, even at a beta stage, so I'm okay with where we're at right now. It's a direct contrast to an alpha like Rainbow Six Extraction, where each room is kind of closed off behind another door, so your view distance and your render and your pop-in, all of that becomes kind of irrelevant. So I can see why they opted to go with this. I wish that people would understand that, hey, this is probably one of the craziest undertakings when it comes to AAA FPS, and I think DICE or Ripple Effect and EA, they just want to get it right, so I can understand it. Now, if the game launches and the maps look this empty and the lighting's weird and all of this, then okay, we got ourselves a conversation. But I'm hoping for once that this is a tried and true alpha test. Now, in a lot of cases, when we talk about alphas and betas, they're usually meant for marketing. This obviously was a closed off tech test. This isn't something that you get with a pre-order, so I'm hoping that this is one of those real tests. And I know, like I said in the beginning of the video, not much is going to change in terms of the actual gameplay, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, I really feel like DICE or Ripple Effect and EA have the resources to make sweeping changes like this. My guess is they already have these maps and these builds kind of ready to go, or at least close to ready to go, and we're playing on a stripped down version of those maps and of the game. But again, if the game does launch and it is in this state, well, now we have some stuff to talk about. Now, when it comes to audio, the game does sound really good. There was this one clip I was watching where these people were fighting in like this warehouse building, and a helicopter flew overhead, just raining gunfire down while a gunfight was kind of going off in and out of this warehouse. And you can hear the differences in being outside versus being inside of a building when you're shooting. The one thing that I hope we can toggle are character voiceovers. Some of these voices are just annoying after about 30 seconds. We hear the one player, I'm watching the player play as this woman. I don't know what specialist it was, but you hear her go, "Tango down," every time she gets a kill, or "under fire" when bullets start flying. I hope it gets tweaked, or allow us to just disable it come launch, or just don't have it come up every single time you get a kill. Something. Just something. Now, realistically, the problems that I've pointed out within this alpha technical test are pretty minuscule. Everything else that I'm seeing about this game, I'm actually fucking with a lot. It makes me more excited to see where the game's going to be once it hits the beta state. This really does look like Battlefield 4 on steroids, and I'm honestly all here for it at this point. My hype for this game is off the charts. This is the same sort of feeling I had with Modern Warfare when we were getting close to launch. I don't want to play any other FPS right now. I played Hunt Showdown for the first time in like 4 years yesterday. I had fun there, but I'm just looking over here, over the fence, at everybody getting to play Battlefield. I want it to come out at this point. Gaming right now is so fucking dry that I would rather play an alpha build of a technical test of a game that's coming out 3 months from now than touch anything else on the market right now. And that is a good thing for Battlefield. It's a bad thing for the state of the industry, but I'm honestly just twiddling my thumbs waiting for Battlefield to come out. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Have you seen any of this leaked gameplay? Again, I'm not going to provide any of it here. I don't want to get taken down by EA, but I do want to provide some commentary because I do think it's valuable to talk about how people think about just looking at a game that's being played by their community. I have seen EA now come out and take a stance. Basically, if you get caught leaking any footage, you are risking your account being banned for when the game comes out. You won't be able to play it. So if you guys are leaking gameplay, sharing it with your friends or whatever the case is, just be careful. I myself found the gameplay so fucking easy, so I do appreciate people who are putting it out there, but at the same time, I would hate to see anybody get the hand slapped by the big long dick of EA, so just be careful if you're out there sharing it on Discords or whatever. My name is BigFry. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. We're going for 300,000 subscribers this year. It's a hefty goal. We just hit 233. I'm so close. I'm feeling it. And I think Battlefield is going to be one of those games that take us there. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you on the next one.